Water. Water. And stay out of people's business.
Well, you're in our business now. So you're about to age a couple of years.
I like this. October Red Boxing here with Ak and Barak. Is that the right way round?
Yeah, that's the way the Brits say it. Ak. It's Ak, but the Brits say Ak. Yeah.
What happened in 1977?
There you go.
That was a year the Lord was blessed
Ooh.
by, yeah, we like it. But anyway, enough about me. Thank you very much for coming on the channel. Welcome to the new UK, an important fight. I'm going to go over to yourself first.
Okay, let's do it.
Talk to us about this fight and what it means to both fighters, because one of them is from your home country.
Right. Well, it's pressure for both fighters, but it's a different kind of pressure. One pressure is like, from Jermaine Franklin, this fight can change my life. You know, this is life-changing. I just had a great fight with Dillian Whyte. I kind of got on the map, but this one is going to bring me to one of those upper echelon names in the heavyweight division. The other pressure is like, I was already at the top. I have to prove, if I can't beat this guy, even though I think that's a little unfair what he's saying to himself. I'm talking about Joshua because he's saying if I can't beat this guy, I need to retire. This guy is really, really good. If he would lose to this guy, it's not the end of the world, in my opinion, because he already showed us what he could do against Dillian Whyte. Some people thought he won. You know, so come on now. Just because we don't know Jermaine Franklin, don't mean the kid can't scrap. Because what if he goes on and beats Usyk? Who knows? You know what I mean? But it's just a lot of pressure for both fighters, that's all.
You like it?
Well, I think not only on AJ there's pressure on his trainer, Derek James, who in our country is considered one of the best trainers in the world. He took on this challenge and getting the former unified heavyweight champ back to the top. So there's pressure on both sides. But we spoke to Derek recently. I like his attitude and his approach about it. I think AJ needed that type of culture, being around Errol Spence, Jamel Charlo, and those guys. So just to add to that, obviously, with Franklin, it's just an opportunity of a lifetime, right, to pull off an upset. I do understand why AJ says, if I lose, I'll retire, right? I get it. This guy's elite, even though he's been rushed to this status, right, without much experience. But to Barak's point, he's already been on top. He knows what it feels like. And maybe he's just not the type of guy that can deal with the criticism from this country, right? That once upon a time we were at Wembley against Povetkin and there were 80,000 people there in the rain. We were just discussing that, cheering for him, not wanting to get out of their seats, being soaked and wet. From that type of love to the negative, I guess, social media comments that he sees is frustrating. You guys don't want me to fight, then whatever. I think that we're going to see a different type of AJ. I'm predicting that because I know what those dudes in Texas do. And I think this moment will get past him. Like, you know, that attitude about wanting to retire.
That attitude, the retirement conversation, all right, it's come up. It's one of them. It's there. However, he's done what he's done on his own. He's the one that's won the fights. Yep. He's the one that's bled in the ring. Right. I understand that, you know, the British commenters, we've got a fickle audience, we've got a tough audience. One day we'll love you, the next minute we'll hate you.
Phonies.
But it's
that's
just the way we are.
No,
if it's fake, it's fake.
The Americans are worse.
Okay. But hasn't he got to get over that? He's got to get over that and think, I've got to do this for myself, because then it becomes a fight where he's got to actually think, I'm doing this for me, rather than I'm doing it for the appreciation of the fans, I'm doing it for the Twitter keyboard warriors, I'm doing it for the hater. What about doing it for himself?
Amen. I like that. You know, I think it's like, life is about perception, whatever perception you choose to have. And it's like, you notice he always says, you know, I was rushed to the Olympics, won a gold medal. I was rushed in the pros, won a championship back in like 2016, beat Charles Martin. But he's not looking at like, okay, I was rushed, but I was good enough to do all of those things.
You go.
So if your confidence can catch up with what you've already achieved, then you can go on to be greater and greater. So I just think that he has it. He just has to know he has it.
Yeah, and I think that sounds cute and nice. Do it for yourself and forget about the people. It's just not reality. In this sport, when you're scrutinized the way you are, it's impossible to ignore everybody, right? You want people to acknowledge your greatness or what you do. Or remember, do you remember when you know, I did so much for this country. I represented it in the Olympics. I won a medal. You guys forgot that. So I think he has that Roy Jones effect. Y'all must have forgot. And I think he's going to try to prove that on Saturday night.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for a crowd, he wouldn't be doing it this long. So the crowd is a big part in all of this.
The crowd is a big part in this, but he's got to blank it out.
That's true.
Because if he lets the crowd rule him, then those nerves, the eyes, everything on Saturday, the pressure's on.
Yeah, some fighters thrive in that, though. I mean, there's a fighter named Tito Trinidad from Puerto Rico who loved the roar of the crowd. It pushed him. He needed that. So sometimes needed. The crowd isn't always bad. And look, when they love AJ, they love him. So I don't think he necessarily has to ignore the crowd. He just has to ignore the negative crowd.
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, but you know what? It's like negative news travels so fast, and the negative comments on your social media seems to stick out a little bit more. Meanwhile, it's always less than the positive. So I agree.
AJ needs a social media expert to filter the comments. Just put the positive, uplifting ones on there so he can see that randomly.
But it's like it is in life. They say life is boxing, boxing is life. You will always remember the people that were horrible to you. You seldom remember the ones that were good to you. Right. And this is what's happening in boxing right now.
You seen Michael, I don't know if you saw Michael B. Jordan the other day with that interview where he was like, yeah, you call me corny back in the day. You call me corny, but it's all right, you know. But I had to remind you. So, yeah, sometimes we don't forget how situations make us feel. That's what it's about. It's about feelings.
We're going to talk. We're going to get straight to predictions, and you guys.
Okay, this is where I go. I gotta go. I don't do predictions.
Well, all right then. How do we think the fight goes? Let's allow the predictions. We won't run with that.
She is. See, that's that red October red. See how she switched it? See how she switched it around? She did a red October on me right there. She switched it around. It's the same question.
Yeah, Barak is a guy that is known for not giving predictions at times. But that's when he's. That's when he's cool with both fighters, and I like Franklin. He's a great guy, but fight-wise, X's and O's, I just think that AJ's going to be more aggressive, and he's going to be able to fight better on the inside. He's the bigger, stronger guy. There's no question about it. With all that to prove, I just don't see AJ losing, and I think the fight ends within 8 rounds.
Tasty.
I'm not smart enough to know who's going to win, so I never make predictions. I just want to see a good scrap.
But styles make fights. Talk to me about the styles.
Listen.
The benefit of the styles.
Understand that a Franklin style is hard for everybody. You know, that sneaky boxer, counterpuncher, fast hands, good foot movement, been doing it since he was a little baby. That's hard. You know what I mean? But then again, you got the neutralizer. You got Joshua who can, that Joshua that fought Brazil, that confidence that he had. He looked him in his face and said, "Yo, you're not about this. You're not really about that life. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk like that. You know what I mean? That Joshua right there. It don't matter your skill set. He's knocking you out."
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for now. But I'm honoured to have you two as guests. It's been amazing. It's nice to see you actually here rather than doing Zoom. I hate that. I'm just going to let you know I don't like that online.
I've been watching you for a very long, maybe like since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? I was watching you. Okay, that was bad.
That's Cap.
I've been watching October Red for a very long time. I like your interview styles. You're very good, and keep going. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
I echo that.
We like it. The US and the UK connections, gentlemen. I'll see you later. Thank you. Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.